All right, so we'll continue with the topic that we were doing earlier. We were discussing the nonverbal communication, and we are already through with kinesics and proxemics. Just give me a minute, I'll share the PDF with you. And today we are going to discuss paralanguage. Paralanguage is something which is related to your, voice, the quality of voice, the volume, pitch, frequency, and things like that. So just give me a minute. I'll share the PDF with you. Anji, is this visible? Is this PDF visible to everyone?
No, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
किसी को नहीं visible है? Should I try to share it
मैम
again?
होगी मैम होगी
ठीक है. Okay. So the topic is paralanguage. So as I've already told you that paralanguage is something which is related to your voice, the tone, the pitch, and things like that, right? So it says that paralanguage involves the study of voice quality, volume, speech rate, and the manner of speaking beyond the said words. ठीक है, so ये सारी चीजें जो हैं, these are taken care of when we talk about paralanguage. That is your voice quality. आपकी voice की quality क्या है, volume कितना है, that means कितना high or low is, when कितना ऊंचा या धीमे बात वॉल्यूम में आप बात करते हो when you're talking to somebody. Speech rate is the speed of your speech, and then the manner of speaking beyond the said words. It concentrates on how of speaker's voice rather than what of the words, right? So here, when we talk of paralanguage, जो चीज ज्यादा मैटर करती है दैट इज कि किस तरीके से एक मैसेज को बोला गया है, हाउ इट इज सेड, राइट, रादर देन व्हाट इज सेड, राइट. सो क्या बोला जा रहा है वो, उसके ऊपर हम कंसंट्रेट नहीं करेंगे. वी आर गोइंग टू कंसंट्रेट ऑन हाउ इट इज सेट, किस तरीके से बोला जा रहा है, क्या वॉल्यूम है, क्या स्पीच रेट है, कितनी इफेक्टिवली यू आर एबल टू कम्युनिकेट योर मैसेज, आपका वॉइस क्वालिटी कैसा है. सो ये सारी चीजें जो है दीज आर गोइंग टू मैटर व्हेन वी टॉक अबाउट पैरा लैंग्वेज. So here we are not at all concerned about what is being said. We are just concerned about how it is said, कि किस तरीके से you are articulating the things or the message that you wish to communicate. Is that clear? So it is very important to understand this fact that here we are not at all concerned about the words which are being said. ठीक है, कि क्या बोला जा रहा है. Our main concern is going to be how it is said, how the message is being delivered. So next it says that the study of vocalizations gives clue about speaker's social standing and his personality. So you can, calculate or analyze a lot about a person's personality through his vocalizations, the way he or she, speaks. Uske through you can judge, or you can, I wouldn't say judge, you can evaluate or calculate or analyze a lot about a person's personality. And it may change your way of how what do you think about that person. You may have a different opinion of that person after you have heard that person speak, right? So हो सकता है किसी की अदरवाइज पर्सनालिटी जो हो वो इतनी ज्यादा impressive ना हो, but his quality of voice, his speech rate, the way he speaks is very impressive. So that is going to change your entire mindset about that person. Deep. So next is deep throaty voice It indicates maturity of man, whereas flat voice indicates person's lack of interest in life. ठीक है, अगर फ्लैट वॉइस है, मॉड्यूलेशंस नहीं है, there are no modulations in the sound, voice of a person, then it shows that the person, there is no the person is lacking interest in life. उसको इंटरेस्ट ही नहीं है कि क्या क्या चीजें चल रही हैं, what are the things he or she is surrounded with. So if you are having flat voice, this shows that you are not at all interested in life. Shaky voice, it reveals nervousness of the speaker. ये तो बहुत obvious है. We have, I feel most of us, we have experienced this thing in our life. कभी ना कभी तो ये चीज experience करी होगी कि आप nervous थे and you had to speak something, so it could, it was coming through your voice. It was it was very obvious through your voice that you are getting nervous, or you must have heard someone, or you must have seen someone who is getting nervous, और वो चीज उनके voice में reflect हो रही है, right? So it can be very easily, analyzed. Next is broken voice, his lack of preparation. So if the voice is broken, that shows that you are not prepared well. Clear voice, it shows that you are confident about whatever you are saying. So your voice, it can tell a lot about your personality. Next is paralanguage has number of subcategories. So हम paralanguage को भी आगे divide करते हैं. First one is tone. Now, what is tone? What do you understand by this term tone? I hope that you have heard this word earlier, right? कि tone तो सुना होगा word बहुत बार, and we use this word often. Do you understand what does this mean and how it can make a difference in the communication? What is tone, बच्चे? No one in the class? Okay, so tone is the physical level at which the sound of human voice is transmitted. Basically, it is the way your message is communicated. ठीक है, आप क्या tone pick करते हो to convey your message. There can be different ways of communicating a message. So, what tone do you decide to convey a message is going to, it may change the meaning of the message. एक same message हो सकता है, but if it is speaking, like if it is said with a different tone, तो उसका जो meaning है वो different हो सकता है. So it is used to convey the attitude of a person as revealed in the intonation of the speech. So basically, tone में changes हम कैसे लेके आते हैं? Changes are brought with the help of intonation patterns in the speech. You bring modulations in your speech, and that brings uh, the tone of a message. ठीक है? That is how हम tone लेके आते हैं एक message में. So next is positive tone, conveys a positive message, whereas neutral messages, if conveyed in negative tone, are perceived as negative. So if you wish to convey something positive, try to you always use a positive tone. Even if uh, convey a positive message with a neutral tone or a negative tone, it is going to come out negative. So you have to make sure that your tone is correct, because you can change a negative message into positive by just changing the tone of the message. The same can be done to a positive message. If you are saying that in a negative tone, it will be taken as a negative message. So you have to make sure that the tone in which you speak is correct and you pick up the right tone for that message, right? हम कहते हैं ना कि taunt करा है किसी ने. How do we get to know? That's a simple message. We get to know about it through the tone of the message. If somebody is angry with us, ठीक है, वो कुछ भी कन्वे कर रहे हैं हमें, तो हमें कैसे पता चलेगा? वी विल गेट टू नो थ्रू द टोन ऑफ द मैसेज कि किस टोन में वो मैसेज बोला गया है. If somebody is very happy about something, so we'll get to know about it through the tone of the message. The tone is very important, and you should make sure that generally also you use positive tone. Next is the pitch. Pitch क्या है? Pitch is basically when we talk about, see, the voice, the sounds that we produce, they are produced through our vocal cords. So vocal cords are responsible for the sounds that we produce. The voice, for the voice basically, और sounds जो हैं, they are formulated in our mouth with the help of tongue, teeth, palate, and things like that, right? So, pitch क्या है? Pitch is, the measure of how high or low a voice is, and what is the speed of vibrations of the vocal cords. ठीक है? Whenever we talk, हम जब बात करते हैं तो हमारे vocal cords में हमेशा vibration होती है. You can even feel that. You can just keep your hand on your throat. Just keep it on your throat and try to speak something. You'll feel vibrations you'll feel vibrations here on this part of your neck. So this is where our vocal cords are, and the sounds are produced, the voice is produced uh, through our with the help of our vocal cords. So higher the pitch, मतलब जितना ज़्यादा pitch होगा उतना ज़्यादा हमारा rate of vibration होगा. Lower the pitch, that means slower will be the rate of vibration. So this is related to the vibrations that are produced through our vocal cords. The next one is intensity. Intensity, it refers to the volume. ठीक है कि when somebody is talking, कितना loud या कितना softly वो बात कर रहा है. ठीक है, loudness or softness of the voice. A person with the weak voice intensity, ठीक है, that means कि volume जो है that is weak, that is low. That person is perceived as that that person is lacking confidence. So if there is somebody who is talking very slowly, or कोई speech दे रहा है, or if there is somebody who has to give a presentation on the stage and he or she is not able to you know uh, raise his or her volume, वो अपना आवाज जो है उसको रेज नहीं कर पा रहे हैं, वो लाउडली नहीं बोल पा रहे हैं, दे स्पीकिंग वेरी स्लोली, और वो सुनाई भी नहीं दे रहा, दैट विल डेफिनेटली शो दैट द स्टूडेंट और द पर्सन इज नॉट एट ऑल कॉन्फिडेंट. So on the other hand, if somebody is talking very loudly, so that is going to show that it is going to give an impression that maybe that person is trying to dominate uh, in that area, or that may also give an impression of aggression. ठीक है, कि गुस्सा करने की ट्राई करता है. That is true. That you must have seen that in your daily life as well, कि जब भी आप गुस्सा होते हो तो आपका जो वॉइस का वॉल्यूम है वो रेज हो जाता है, right? Automatically it goes up. That is a way through which we uh, try to show our anger. So जैसे ही आपका वॉल्यूम वॉइस का इंक्रीज होता है या डिक्रीज करता है तो वो हमारे बारे में कुछ ना कुछ ज़रूर बताता है. So you have to make sure कि there is no scale for it otherwise, but it is something that you need to analyze yourself कि किस सिचुएशन में कितना वॉल्यूम या कितनी इंटेंसिटी की ज़रूरत होती है. So if there is a room full of people, बहुत सारे लोग हैं, बहुत ज़्यादा chaos है वहाँ पे, सारे लोग आपस में बात कर रहे हैं, तो वहाँ पे you'll have to raise your voice. वहाँ पे you'll have to speak very loudly to make everyone listen to you. बहुत softly बात करोगे तो किसी को पता भी नहीं चलेगा that you are saying something. On the other hand, if there are just uh, two persons who are standing right next to you, तो वहाँ पे आपको बहुत loudly बात करने की ज़रूरत नहीं है. So you just have to make sure that your voice is audible to the other person. इतना ध्यान में रखना है कि आपकी आवाज़ सुनाई दे रही है दूसरे इंसान को, ये नहीं है कि आप बहुत loud या बहुत slow बात करो. So you have to maintain a balance. Next is rhythm. So rhythm, it refers to the modulations of stressed and unstressed elements in the flow of speech. ठीक है, जो हमने इंटोनेशन पैटर्न्स की बात करी थी, सेम चीज है रिदम में भी हम इंटोनेशन पैटर्न्स की बात करते हैं. बेसिकली इंटोनेशन पैटर्न्स क्या है? दे आर द modulations that we bring in our voice when we speak. Now even when I speak, I try to give emphasis on few words. कुछ वर्ड्स के आगे मैं पॉजेस देती हूँ, कुछ वर्ड्स जो इम्पोर्टेंट है उनको थोड़ा लाउड एंड क्लियर एंड थोड़ा पॉजेस डाल के बोलती हूँ. सो दिस इज हाउ आई ब्रिंग मॉड्यूलेशन और रिदम टू माई वॉइस. सो यू कैन अंडरस्टैंड इट कि हम कभी कभी कुछ वर्ड्स को थोड़ा लाउड बोलते हैं, फिर स्लो हो जाते हैं, फिर एक ही फ्लैट टोन पे चले जाते हैं, देन अगेन वी ब्रिंग मॉड्यूलेशन टू द साउंड. So this is rhythm. It is very important in your speech to make it look interesting, to gain the attention of your listeners. Otherwise, it is going to, sound like a robot is trying to speak something. And robotic sound is very boring and nobody wants to listen to it. So that is why it is important that you bring, modulations in your speech when you're talking. So these rhythms are commonly used to express different range of emotions. So आप emotions भी express कर सकते हो when you are, with the help of these rhythms. Next is tempo. Tempo is what now? Tempo is, it is related to the speech speed, the speed of your speech. So tempo, it refers to the rate at which one speaks. कि आप कितनी speed से आप बात करते हो, कितनी speed से आप words जो हो वो बोलते हो. So if a speaker speaks too slowly, the audience shall lose the interest and will be bored. That is very obvious. अगर कोई बहुत ही धीरे धीरे बात करे, बहुत लंबे लंबे pauses लेके बात करे या बहुत ही लो speech rate पे बात करे, तो you are going to get bored, right? Nobody is going to be interested. आप एक time के बाद you will get irritated with that person and you will want that person to complete his thing as soon as possible, right? So आपका जो attention है जो कि उसकी बात पे होना चाहिए, वो वहां से हट के it is going to go to this thing कि okay, just complete the message and leave, because that is going to annoy you. So on the other hand, if a speaker speaks quickly, बहुत fast बात कर रहा है कोई, then his message will not be perceived as credible. तो credibility message lose कर जाएगा. मोर ओवर हो सकता है कि वो इतना फास्ट बोला गया कि योर माइंड couldn't process it. You need pauses in between to retain whatever is being said, to understand and grasp the meaning of it. So the pauses in your speech are very important. You need to analyze that where the pauses should be. Your sentences should not be very lengthy ones, right? Because if they are very lengthy, then the audience or your receivers, they are going to just get lost into the message. उनको समझ नहीं आएगा कि क्या बात हो रही है. So it is important that you put pauses in between. You give your audience time to think about it and just grasp the meaning of the message that you are trying to convey. So basically, your speech rate, it should neither be very fast, ठीक है, बहुत फास्ट नहीं होनी चाहिए, because then it is going to lose its credibility, and moreover, chances are there that the audience is not going to get the meaning out of it. On the other hand, it should not be very slow, because if it is very slow, then the audience is going to lose their interest and they'll be bored with it, right? And obviously, you are going to get very irritated with that person and you'll just stop listening to that person. So it is important that you maintain a good, proper tempo, and you should analyze the situation as well. कि किस सिचुएशन में आप कम्युनिकेट कर रहे हो, उस सिचुएशन के अकॉर्डिंगली, अगर आपके पास टाइम कम है, मैटर ज़्यादा है, तो you'll have to bring changes in your speech rate according to that. ठीक है, अगर किसी के पास सिर्फ 2 मिनट है आपकी बात सुनने के लिए, यू कांट बी लाइक दैट कि ओके, आई हैव टू मेंटेन माय टेम्पो, मैं इतने ही स्पीड पे बात करूंगा. तो क्या होगा, यू विल एंड अप just conveying half of the message. So you have to keep this thing in your mind, that you have to analyze the situation as well. You have to analyze the occasion as well. कि कितना टाइम है, कितना मटेरियल है आपके पास to convey, and you have to change it accordingly. And on the other hand, you have to make sure that you are uh, in a situation to convey the right message to the other person and in a very effective manner. Is that clear? Is this clear to everyone?
Yes, ma'am.
Any doubts in this topic? That is paralanguage. We have discussed 5 things today. First is tone, then we have pitch, then we have intensity, then we have rhythm and tempo. Meaning, काफी हद तक, there are very slight changes in the meanings of these things because everything is related to the voice. तो किसी में स्पीड की बात कर रहे हैं, किसी में इंटोनेशन पैटर्न्स की बात कर रहे हैं, किसी में वॉल्यूम की बात कर रहे हैं, किसी में टोन की बात कर रहे हैं. So there are very, minute differences. हाँ जी, समझ आया पैरालैंग्वेज?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. If um if there are no doubts, then I'll end the session here because we don't have much time with us. So I won't start up with the next topic. We'll do that in the next lecture. So thank you everyone for joining this class.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.